Hello, folks and fans. Welcome to another edition of Now We're Piping with Dr. Rockwood. Today I thought I'd do something a little bit different. I'm not done my series on my pipe collection yet, but I'm out here smoking a bowl, and I thought it'd be fun to turn the camera on and to talk a little bit about what I'm smoking and, take you through that and ask a couple questions. Just kind of shoot the breeze. It's very cold here today. It's -1 degrees Celsius right now, but with the breeze and the wind chill, it feels like -4. So I'm all bundled up. Currently smoking some Peterson Irish Flake out of this basket pipe. And let me tell you, this pipe sucks. But it's a pipe that I don't mind smoking outside in -4 weather. Irish Flake. Pleasantly surprised, I must say. I'm new to Burleys. I've primarily been an English smoker for most of my pipe smoking time so far, but I tried out Peterson University Flake, loved it. That's also Burley based. I think there's a bit of Virginia's in that one, and there's a light topping to it, but I loved it. And maybe it's because people are saying how strong it was, and I naturally gravitated towards that because I am a cigarette smoker. Maybe that's what attracted me to Peterson's Irish Flake as well. Everyone who did a review of it on YouTube and, from what I could read on tobaccoreviews.com are saying that it is a very strong blend. You get a pretty big nicotine hit out of it. And I find that to be true for the most part. It's delicious. I really like it. And after about a bowl's worth of it, I feel like my body's gotten, a similar amount of nicotine than having, one full strong cigarette. Which goes to show that cigarettes are really just a nicotine delivery vehicle more than anything else. Unless we're talking about French and Turkish tobaccos, things like gitans and gauloises and stuff like that, or any of the Arabic smokes. But yeah, Peterson Irish Flake, it's the first blend that I've tried where I do feel like my nicotine craving has been satisfied. Only thing is that I only get that at the end of a bowl, but the journey is half the fun anyways, so I don't mind it. Now, as I mentioned, this pipe really sucks. It's been stamped Italy on the bottom, and that's it in terms of markings. There is an issue with the button. Right inside the button, there's like a lip on the inside. It makes it very difficult to pass a pipe cleaner, but it's only in the front bit. Like, it's only right where the button is. Everything else is clear, it's open. The other issue is that it's not drilled properly. The air hole kind of jets out a little bit below the bottom of the bowl, and it's kind of tucked into the heel a little bit instead of it being flush with the bottom. But it's to be expected with a basket pipe. And here you can kind of see where, the idea was that, I don't know if you could see that, but there is a bit of an attempt at creating a finish, but then they realized, you know what, nope, this pipe kind of sucks. So someone just started gouging away at it to create this weird looking rustication. But as far as this goes, it's my outside pipe. It's my walk in the dog pipe. And the bowl has a bit of a forward slant to it. It's kind of cool. It reminds me a bit of an old timey cutty. But the walls are super thin, so it gets really nice and warm, which I suppose is good for the wintertime. But I'm going to smoke this thing. I'm going to look after it for as long as I can, and eventually it's going to die. So at least I'll have smoked the hell out of it before it does. But yeah, burley blends. University Flake, absolutely love it. Like I said, right now I'm smoking Irish Flake, and I'm even more surprised. The flavor isn't as, in my opinion, smoothed out or rounded as Peterson's University Flake, but it does pack a little bit more of a punch in the immediacy of smoking it, I find. Very nice, kind of earthy. There is a tiny bit of sweetness that I can detect, and maybe it's because of the anise, kind of, I don't want to call it a top note because it's not really a top note. It might be a casing, I can't really tell. But, in the first few puffs, I do feel the nicotine stick in the back of my throat. And that's what I'm looking for. I can kind of ride that wave. So, fun little discovery. Yeah, like I was saying, it basically all started with the University Flake. And then I moved on to the Haunted Bookshop. And what I say might be a little bit controversial, but I really don't like it. I cannot stand Haunted Bookshop. I've given it a 10. I've smoked a 10's worth of it, and I've smoked it outside, I've smoked it inside, I've smoked it, earlier on this summer, and I've smoked some of it last week as well when it was cold and sort of below freezing here in Ottawa. I cannot stand it. I'm sorry. To each their own, but I'm not wasting it. I'm giving it away. I did a little pipe presentation at my local B&M, and I brought some tobaccos with me to kind of talk about them and the differences in the various, blends and what they're made of and the components and stuff like that. And a lot of people gravitated towards the Haunted Bookshop, and I said, feel free, take some if you want. I can't do it. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. But this Irish Flake, though, it gets me where I need to go. Fantastic blend. I'm definitely going to cellar this deep. I don't think Peterson's will go out of business anytime soon, but I am going to be stocking up on this in my next order. And by the way, in Canada, it's notoriously difficult to find good tobaccos here. Your brick and mortar shops, they will carry, they'll carry your Petersons. Mine still has old Dunhill tins. A lot of C&D, a lot of Samuel Gawith. At least mine has a lot of Samuel Gawith. But every tin is at least like $45, $50 Canadian when you buy it from your local brick and mortar. Which, even compared to prices I find in the States, buying tins at your local brick and mortar over there, it is still way more expensive here. So, like everyone else, I kind of resort to buying online. Now in Canada, you can't bring more than 200 grams at a time without getting, or risk getting hit with duty. So that's what I do. I usually buy 4 tins at a time, and I've been hit buying from smokingpipes.com, but I haven't been hit with 4 noggins. So I primarily order from 4 noggins, but if any of you guys are watching this and are up Canada ways, let me know where you get your tobaccos, because the Mr. B's, I can't do that line. It's, it's not beneath me. I just don't like how rough around the edges all the elements of those blends, all the components in those blends are. It's almost like they've taken some harsh Southern Ontarian Virginias and, just kind of thrown that into a magic bullet and blended it with a whole bunch of other stuff. Like there's no polish to the tobaccos that make up those blends, I find. So I try to avoid them. And even those are like $35 for a pouch, not even a tin. Like, we're talking a pouch. It's still very expensive. So let me know. Another thing too that I've been struggling with, especially in trying to transition from cigarettes to pipe smoking. I started smoking cigarettes when I was very, very young. Well, very young. I mean, I'm not going to say when. And they're great in a pinch, and you get your hit, and you can move on. But I've realized lately that I just don't enjoy the taste, and I just do it for the nicotine. So I often find myself reaching for a pipe. I just want to have a bowl if I have time. Most of the time, I can't dedicate anywhere from 20 minutes to an hour, depending on the pipe I reach for, to smoking. So I light my pipe, I go outside, I'll puff on it for like 5 minutes, and then I want to put it out, and I want to save it for later, for my next smoke break. But it's such a pain, because even if I were to, plug up the holes here and stop any oxygen from getting in, it doesn't always do the trick. It'll smolder for ages. Even if I just put the pipe down, lay it aside for a few minutes, or wait outside for a couple minutes for it to go out on its own, that kind of sucks, because it's already -4 and it's not even December. So I don't want to be standing outside in freezing weather unnecessarily. Now, a lot of people talk about using these little wind caps, and that when you're done smoking, you just stick it on there and put it in your pipe. Put your pipe in your pocket, and so be it. But then again, I don't want it. I don't want smoke to start billowing out my pockets either, right? Especially when I come inside. I don't want the missus or the dog to, have to live with, smoke just kind of wafting out of my clothes or out of my pipe if I set it down somewhere indoors. I've tried wine corks, taking a wine cork and then just sort of jamming it in the bowl, and then taking the end of a pipe cleaner and sticking it through the bottom, hoping that it can constrict the airflow enough for the pipe to go out on its own. It kind of works, but it is a pain. So if any of you have any ideas, that'd be greatly appreciated. So this video has been going on now for just under 15 minutes. I don't want to take up too much of your time, so I'll say thank you very much. And if you guys want, let me know your thoughts on what I just said, and if you have any answers for me on the questions I just asked, then please don't hesitate. So thank you very much. Till the next one. Bye.